Good evening, everyone. Hope you had a nice start to your week today. We have got quite a few things to break tonight, but only one of them will take us a while. That's our Top Series 2. But before we get to Top Series 2, we're opening quite a bit of memorabilia tonight. An autographed basketball jersey, an autographed baseball jersey, a full-size football helmet, a full-size batting helmet, and then we'll be jumping into our Top Series 2. And before we get started with all that, I've got a little information to share with you. If you've broken with me before, you know what's coming up next, but we often have new faces when we break, so we go through it every night anyway. First thing you see there, of course, my feedback is completely automated on eBay. I know that comes up actually surprisingly often. People ask that question. So that's just to let you know, hey, anytime you leave positive feedback for me, you should instantly get it in return. You never have to wait for me to get caught up or any of that stuff. Second and most important thing on that page is to say thanks. I very much appreciate each and every one of you who stops by. You chat with me, you bid, you break, you watch the videos, in whatever way you participate. I'm glad to have you, and thanks for joining me. We're going to take a look next at some breaks that are coming up here over the course of the next 5 days. You'll notice that tomorrow night we are not breaking. Don't take too many nights off, but yeah, I'm going to have to get caught up after all this Series 2 that we broke last night and we're breaking tonight. So not breaking tomorrow night. We'll be back at it Wednesday night. Lots of new products releasing on Wednesday. Inception Baseball, Encased Basketball, Elite Football, all come out on Wednesday. We're going to break all of those as full cases on Wednesday night. On Thursday, we're going to open a Gold Rush Value Pack case. That's a 12-pack case. It's 3 cards per pack, so it's basically a 36-card case, if you will. That came out Friday. I forgot to list it. So, yeah, we're going to break it Thursday of this week. And then we'll break a half case of Stadium Club. That also comes out Wednesday night, but obviously we're not breaking it until Thursday. I forgot to mention it a second ago, but notice that we do start early on Wednesday night. We normally start at 10. We're going to get rolling at 9:30 on Wednesday night, and the auctions will also start ending a little earlier than normal on Wednesday. On Friday night, we'll do 3-peat basketball, a triple play baseball. Each of those have 3 autographed items in them, a jersey, a ball, and a photograph. We'll also do another case of Encased, and then guess what? Another new release on Friday night. That is Museum Collection Baseball, and we'll break a half case of that on Friday night. Saturday, we'll do a little more memorabilia, an autographed full-size baseball bat, another football jersey, another case of Inception, and some more Elite Football. And, of course, you know, we'll take a look at Sunday the next time we break, because I don't have Sunday listed yet. For tonight, there's a couple of things to note. First off, this is the order that we're breaking in. So it is basketball jersey, the football helmet, the baseball jersey, the batting helmet, and then Top Series 2. The next thing you need to know, those first 4 breaks are all free shipping breaks. Anytime you do a break with me that is completely free shipping, it's usually going to get out the door about 6 or 7 days after the auction ends. Occasionally, I'm able to squeeze one in here or there in an extra 5 or 10 minutes, and it gets out the door a little sooner. But in general, plan on the date you see there, which is Saturday, is what I'm projecting for our free shipping items tonight. Our paid shipping break, of course, that is Series 2, and I am projecting Thursday, which is also what I projected for the one we did last night. But I think I can get them both out on Thursday since I'm not breaking tomorrow night, so hopefully that's going to be correct. And the last thing we need to know about this page, if you're on one of those first 4 breaks, one of the memorabilia breaks, and your card is not pulled, or your team rather, is not pulled, you are still entitled to a consolation used trading card for your team. It can be from any year. It can be from any series. I track that for a rolling 90-day period. Typically what happens is this. The next time you do have a package where you have pulled a card or an item with me, I will look back over that 90-day period and I will gather up any of those consolation cards that you are due, and I will add them to the package that's shipping out. If you want it done differently than that, you don't want to wait, you want it just to go out in a plain white envelope and a stamp, shoot me a message over on eBay. I'll get you taken care of. So first up tonight, 2017-18 Hit Parade Series 10 autographed basketball jersey, break number 5. Everything we're opening tonight ended tonight, Monday night, June 25th. And of course, you probably are familiar with this format by now, but we have team names on the left, and directly across from it is the eBay user ID of the winning bidder for that team. I know we have a few things tonight that we're still sitting out as unpaid as of the time I started the live broadcast. So if you happen to be one of those folks that your item is still sitting there or your team is still sitting there unpaid, please take care of that. Please don't be that guy that bids and doesn't pay. And the last little thing to note, of course, you saw the background there just went slightly out of focus. That is actually by design. I don't like using autofocus, so I manually set it, but we should still be good to go. In chat, I see we have Bills and Coins and Greg and T. Cassidy, and Kevin is here from North Carolina. And Bills and Coins, you're asking if I got your payment. I believe that I did. I don't have that in front of me right now, but I think that I did. If it is not, as long as it's not showing up in your like waiting to be paid items or whatever, we should be fine. Oh, baby, we got a nice one here. Oh, this one I'm pretty jealous of. I'm going to tell you that straight up. Carl Anthony Towns for the Timberwolves. That is a nice jersey pull. We have a hologram authentication that is a Steiner Sports hologram. You can see right down there. This is an authentic jersey as well. You see our logo man there and the Carl Anthony Towns signature on it. We have another hologram there. That is just an NBA hologram. Doesn't look like we have any paper certification here. However, that Steiner Sports hologram on the back, I believe if you go to their website and enter that number, it should give you all the information that you need. But a very nice jersey hit tonight with Carl Anthony Towns and the Minnesota Timberwolves. So really pleased with that. Hey, Wayne, I haven't seen you in a good long while. How are you doing, man? Hopefully everything is a-okay with you this evening, Wayne. And every evening as far as that goes. We want you to have a good night every night. We get our spreadsheet set back up and we're going to rock on into our next break. If you didn't see this a moment ago, please look up and review the information there about anticipated shipping dates as well as consolation cards. I'm not going to make you suffer through reading it out loud all again, but do check it out if you didn't see it before, please. 2018 Gold Rush full-size autograph football helmet, break number 16. And like everything else, it ended tonight, the 25th of June, and we're live streaming it tonight, Monday night as well. This is, I believe, my next to last Gold Rush full-size helmet, and they are sold out. So when they're gone until they get them back in stock. A couple of things to note. You see there are two different categories there. One says College Greats multi-signed. The other one says Heisman multi-signed. The reason that is there, if you look in those pictures that I have on the listing, you'll see that there is the possibility to pull a helmet that is signed by multiple Heisman Trophy winners. There's also a helmet in there that is signed by multiple college football greats. So if we were to pull either one of those, it would go to that bidding spot rather than, trying to sort out all those signatures and all that stuff. Would just go directly to that bidding spot. Okay, let's see who we have got here. They put a little sticker in the top. Oh, yay, that's a good one. It's one I don't pull very often either, so pretty cool coming out here in a second. I'm going to tell you who it is. This is a collegiate helmet, but that's not the important part. There's a JSA authentication, and it's Joey Bosa. Yeah, how about that? For the Chargers. Nice Joey Bosa, I think, again, an OSU replica helmet, I believe. There is a JSA authentication sticker on the back that matches your card. For some reason, there's a giant screw there in the back, which I don't normally see, but there is one, so there you go. And I guess that's all, I guess that's all we need to know about that. is Joey Bosa and the Chargers with our full-size helmet. And allegedly, Joey Bosa's brother is better at this point in his career than Joey was. So watch out for baby brother, who will be hitting the NBA. I don't think it's after this season. I think it's after next, but I could be wrong. He could be a junior this season. All right, we are rolling right along here. Fishman, you hit the Steelers mini helmet last night? You know I was a fan of that. You guys all know I love my Pittsburgh Steelers, so... And it was Dermontti Dawson, who, honestly, you don't pull all that much, so that was pretty cool. And, yeah, you know what this is. Here it is again. If you didn't look up a minute ago, if you fell asleep, if you were walking the dog, whatever, grabbing a snack... Please take a minute, look at your projected shipping date and the information about consolation cards in case your team is not pulled. You laugh that I put it up there that often, but I guarantee you at least 2 or 3 times a week, I will get a message saying, I watched the break, but I don't know what I get if my team didn't hit. Or I watched the break, but I have no idea when my item ships. I'm not kidding you. Every week it happens. So that's why we put it up there so much. 2018 Hit Parade Series 5 autographed baseball jersey break number 6. Haven't opened a Hit Parade in a while. We've been mainly doing the Gold Rush baseball jerseys, so decided to change it up a little and mix in a little Hit Parade baseball jersey and see what kind of goodness we can pull from this. Kevin, you typed in there Ohio State. Yeah, I assume that you're talking about the Joey Bosa. I thought I said Ohio State, although I probably said OSU, which is kind of what I call Ohio State, but technically that's Oklahoma State University, I guess is technically OSU. But yes, I do know Joey Bosa was Ohio State. The Ohio State University. Always kills me that they emphasize the Ohio State. All right, we have got a White Sox jersey here, if you can see that. And yes, those are the White Sox colors. Those are not the Red Sox colors. And I'm just going to do it like this. We're going to pick up the camera. There's Baines. There's your signature. And we have a hologram right down there at the bottom. And once again, oddly enough, there's no paperwork in this one. That hologram says something Celebrity Services. And I'm assuming there's a way you can, again, go online to use that to verify the signature. I mean, I don't have any concerns that the signature is not legit. It's just typically they put both paper and sticker. But for whatever reason, tonight we're pulling stickers with no paper. So anyway, there is your signature for the Chicago White Sox with the Baines jersey. Oh, Kevin, that was your high school. Your number in high school was number 3. And did you hit this tonight? Is that also your jersey? That'd be pretty cool if it was. I would think that would be a pretty nice little coincidence for sure. We're going to roll into a batting helmet as soon as I get the spreadsheet set up here. Yeah, you know the drill. Look up there for a second if you haven't already. And we are opening a 2018 Hit Parade Series 3 autographed full-size batting helmet. This is break number 3. And, of course, it also ended tonight on eBay. Monday night, June the 25th, the night we're busting it open here. Our last one of these was really pretty awesome because it was Cody Bellinger. That one just shipped out the door today, so somebody's going to be happy in a couple of days when the mailman comes. And this is the last of these that I have on hand, too. I really didn't probably order enough of these. They're surprisingly fun to open. know why I said surprisingly. Like, obviously, I thought they'd be fun to open or I wouldn't have bought it. But yet, I don't know. I wasn't really sure how I felt about batting helmets, right? I mean, that's different than what we normally open. And I was kind of like, I don't know what I think about batting helmets until we opened the first one. And then it was like, oh yeah, I really like batting helmets. I love it. Fishman, yeah, for sure. Anything that you are due for any teams that didn't hit, of course, it's going to be sent when your item ships. I mean, that's kind of what I was explaining to you guys earlier. I track that stuff for a rolling 90-day period, and I'm always going to look back and grab whatever consolation cards you're due. The card is always going to match the team that wasn't pulled. So it's not like if you say don't hit for, whoever, the Browns, that I'm going to send you cards for the Cowboys. Like if you didn't hit for the Browns, you'll get a card for the Browns, and so on and so forth. Hollywood Collectibles Certificate of Authenticity. And of course, our helmet here is the Red Sox. And let's see who that is. They've got a little sticker in here. Right there. They put a sticker inside the bag. Can you see that? Ooh, it's washed out. Well, anyway, there. So it is Bobby Kelty. I say the names wrong. Anyway, it is a hit for the Red Sox. It is an authentic batting helmet. You can see all the little MLB authentic stickers and the Rawlings sticker. And there's your MLB logo on the back, as well as a Hollywood Collectibles authentication. So Boston Red Sox with our batting helmet tonight. Oh, Bills and Coins is saying thanks to the person that outbid me. Are you talking about on the batting helmet or the baseball jersey, Bills and Coins? It looks like Kevin is maybe the person who outbid you. Seems like he might be interested in talking trade with you. So maybe you guys can sort out some kind of a deal if you didn't end up with what you wanted there. Okay, now I have got that out of the way. We're getting ready to go into a marathon break now. So for real, get yourself something to fortify yourself in the next little bit. Get a power bar, get some water, get some food. Because we could probably just about watch a movie by the time it's going to be done with this. This is a long break for Series 2 that we're getting ready to embark upon here in a moment. But before we do that, we've got one more little look at our spreadsheet. And of course, this is a paid shipping break, so shipping date is a little different on that. I'm projecting Thursday. I'm hoping for Thursday. That is the same projected date that I had last night for what we opened. We opened the first half of this case last night. But since I'm not breaking tomorrow night, I hope, knock on wood, that I can get it done and out the door on Thursday. If something goes a little weird or haywire, it might not go till Friday, but I'm planning on Thursday. Planning, hoping, wishing, that sort of thing. So this is 6 boxes of 2018 Series 2 baseball out of the hobby case, not the jumbo that we opened the last couple of weeks. We started hobby last night. It's a half case break. It's break number 7. And of course, the same format that you are accustomed to, with team names on one side and your name in lights across from it if you're the winning bidder. And a couple of teams in here that did not sell. Those are designated as no bids buyback. That would be the Marlins and the Blue Jays. So if anything comes out for the Marlins or the Blue Jays, since those teams didn't sell, then it'll just hang out here with me. Otherwise, it's going to bust on out the door to you. And the first half of this case, I have to tell you, was really nice last night. I'm hopeful that the second half will be as nice. We pulled a 1 of 1, a Reverence patch card, numbered to 5. Those fall once every 18,000 some odd packs, which is like every 20 cases, or not quite 20 cases maybe, but a lot of cases. And we also pulled a sketch card. And those only fall once every 8,000 packs. So again, you know, it's well more than one case to hit that. It's like once every 5 or 6 cases or something like that, you'll hit a sketch card. So all of that out of the first half. And we had several boxes that had an extra hit in it, couple at least, where we pulled an autograph and we pulled a relic. We're going to find lots of these in there, and there are some other advertising cards as well for Topps now. And of course, as I see those, I'm going to set them aside and pull them out, you know, because they're advertising cards. Oh yeah, Greg is right. Reminded me, we also pulled an autograph relic last night. And of course, the autograph relics out of Series 2, once again, only fall about once every roughly 8,000 packs. So we had a lot of stuff in the first half that was very nice. And I am hopeful that we're going to duplicate that success this evening. Of course, you know there's a lot of base in here. There are 36 packs per box. There's 10 cards per pack. So we're looking at 360 cards a box times 6 boxes, you know, over 2,000 cards in this break. So it takes a long time to go through it, and it takes even longer to sort it. But we're going to kind of cut a path through most of the base cards in here. And we'll stop and take a little better look when we see inserts, and hopefully I'm going to catch everything as it goes by. If you see something go by that I don't stop on, feel free to flag me down and let me know. But all the cards do ship, so whether or not we see it going through live, of course I'm going to find it when I would sort, and it would go out the door to you. This is a home run derby or a home run challenge, and Chris Davis for the A's. Here's how this works. If you don't know, when you get it, you scratch off that little silver part. There's a code underneath. You go to the website that's there on the back of the card, and you enter that code, and it will give you, well, shoot, it will give you the opportunity to choose a date when you believe the player on the card, which in this case was Chris Davis, is going to hit a home run. If he does hit a home run on that date, then you will get, there's an Aaron Judge Instant Impact insert, then you get a Topps Now card of the player that will be a low-numbered parallel, and you will also be entered into a drawing to go to the Home Run Derby. Austin Hayes 35th anniversary rookie insert for the Orioles, and a hollow foil Benintendi for the Red Sox. So the home run challenge cards seem to be falling about once every box in the hobby. They were definitely less than that in jumbo, but it is about 1 per box in hobby. This is numbered to 2018. Anytime we find a card like this that has that kind of army green, sort of pea green, whatever you want to call it, green in the background, it's going to be numbered to 2018. If we find one of those with a camouflage background, it'll be numbered to 25. A black background, I think, is to 67. And there's a 35th anniversary insert, Dylan Maples for the Cubs. We can also find, I believe it is a hot pink background to 50 and a red sort of background to 76. This is part of Topps Salute. We'll find a bunch of these inserts. They'll all say different things. That one is for glove work, and they have rookie ones and all kinds of other ones too. Another hollow foil for the Giants. So that's the majority of what we're looking for as we go through here tonight. There is also the possibility that we will pull either an Acuna or a Torres rookie card. Those were both late additions to Series 2, and they're both in here as an insert, okay? So they're not technically part of the base set, but they are inserts, and they have been falling about 1 per case. This is to 299 Castellanos for the Tigers. Now, we have had a few cases where we pulled them both Acuna and Torres somewhere in the case, but most of the time I believe they've been coming out, if I'm remembering correctly, we've been pulling just one of the two roughly once per case. I did not see one of them come out last night. That is not to say that it didn't. I mean, it's always possible I will find it when I sort, but I didn't notice it when we went through last night. So hopefully we will find one or both of those as we go along here this evening. Legends is another one of the inserts for Top Salute. It's Legends, Rookies, Glove Work, Throwback Jerseys. I'm trying to remember if there's another one. Fishman, you're headed off to catch some Z's, huh? I don't blame you, sir. I hope you have a good evening, and I appreciate you jumping in and joining the break, man. We'll get your mini helmet, your spoils from last night on the way to you. Hopefully about Saturday, I believe, is where I projected that to go out. So you'll be getting that before too long. And Sam, the baseball jersey did already break. Everything is broken. All the memorabilia. We're now in the Series 2 break, which is a long break. A long, long, long one. So, yeah. We've got, who was on our baseball jersey? You'd think I'd remember that. We just did it. Let me think. The Red Sox was our batting helmet. Carl Anthony Towns was our basketball jersey. Our football helmet was Joey Bosa. Who was our baseball jersey, guys? Help me out. I don't even remember the team. Oh, it was the White Sox. It was the White Sox. And it just took me a minute there, Sam. Took me a minute to work my way backwards on that. So yes, all the memorabilia, Sam, whenever you're breaking with me, well, I usually break in the order that things end on eBay, but also aside from that, I generally list the memorabilia first. So usually that sort of thing is going to go up pretty quickly once the break starts, because those don't take hardly any time to buzz through them, you know. So usually you want to jump in right at the start if you're in a memorabilia part of the break with me anyway. That is a short print of Corey Kluber for the Indians. It's our first short print that I have seen go through tonight. Numbered to 2018 for the Orioles. Of course, you notice I'm leaving our base cards that are in the pack upside down. You notice I'm leaving them upside down in the pack. If you happen to want that flipped around every single time, jump into chat and let me know, because I will not typically do that. Not only for the sake of time, but also just because it's less handling of the cards, you know? So that's the deal. Was the jersey Harold Reigns? I don't think was the jersey Harold Reigns? I guess it was. I didn't remember that, but okay. Tyler Glasnow for the Pirates. Black and white negative insert there. I couldn't. Isn't that awful? We just opened it. I know. I don't retain that stuff. I did well tonight to work my way backwards and even remember what the team was, frankly. I kind of, let me get Tommy Pham. He's an insert. I kind of just wiped that out of my mind about as soon as we do it. Because, you know, I look at a lot of stuff every night. Between what I break and then what I sort and ship, I look at a lot of cards and items every day, and I don't always do the best job retaining it. That's a Torres, but not the Torres you want. Long Ball Legends insert. Francisco Lindor. Those always look like they should be numbered when they're blue, but yet it isn't. And here is our hit out of box number 1, Noah Syndergaard relic for the Mets. And, of course, our hits in Series 2 Hobby, a little different than the hits that we find in the Jumbo. There is 1 hit per box, and it's an either-or kind of thing. So it can be a relic or it can be an autograph. And occasionally, like we had the good fortune to find last night, it can be both. So we did have an autographed relic last night. We already looked at those 2. And then we had, of course, the Reverence card was also an autographed relic. So we had a pair of them last night. And as I said, I'm hoping that the whole case is like a hot case and that we're going to pull out some more amazing stuff tonight. Here's hoping, anyway. Here's hoping. T. Cassidy, I am sure you are right. I just, like I said, I don't do a good job retaining that stuff most of the time. I remember Carl Anthony Towns because, A, I'm a Carl Anthony Towns fan. You guys all know I went to school at UK. He's a former UK player, so you know I'm a fan. So that's part of the reason I remember that. The other part of the reason I remember that is because he's in that ESPN's The Body issue. You know what I'm talking about? The issue where they photograph all of the athletes sans clothing, strategically posed, and Carl Anthony Towns is in The Body issue. So they released a bunch of those pictures yesterday or today. So I remember just thinking, wow, he looks a lot skinnier than I thought he would look. But Saquon Barkley is part of that issue too. They released his photographs as well. So was Jerry Rice. It was interesting. It was an interesting selection of athletes this year. And I saw, some of the NBA awards. First of all, I cannot believe that Rudy Gobert beat out Anthony Davis for Defensive Player of the Year. Okay, Rudy Gobert had a great year, and the Jazz had a great year, but come on. Anthony Davis was unbelievable this past year. And Rudy Gobert gets it, and Anthony Davis did not. And then Rookie of the Year, I mean, I guess we all knew they were going to give it to Ben Simmons, but I have to tell you, I disagree. I think it should have gone to Donovan Mitchell. I think Ben Simmons is more limited in the impact that he made on his team than the impact that Donovan Mitchell made on his team. I absolutely think it should have been Donovan Mitchell. It's numbered to 2018 for the Yankees. But unsurprisingly, they gave it to Ben Simmons, which frankly, there was the whole debate anyway about should he even be considered a rookie and yada, yada, yada. You guys know that whole story. So the only 2 awards that I saw the result of, I was like, oh, yeah, I disagree with both of those. So I don't know. Maybe the NBA awards are not going to go the way I would like tonight, it seems like, anyway. And I think the Braves were thumping my Reds, at least the last score that I saw. Dodgers to 2018 team card. But I guess I can't really complain too much. I mean, we did just come off of a 7-game win streak, which at least means, at the very least, we might not lose 100 games this year because we did just win 7 in a row. So I will count that as progress because it was pretty bleak a little earlier in the year. So I'm just going to try to be happy that we won 7 in a row. And if the Braves, kick our tails for a couple games, then, yeah, well, okay. Price of admission, I guess. At least it was some fun for a few games instead of, when you get kind of filled with dread. It's always a bad sign. When you're watching your team play and before the game even starts, you think, oh, yeah, I don't know if I want to watch this or not. So it was kind of fun. Fun little stretch there. And we'll be at the All-Star break before you know it. I don't hardly know who's going to even be in the All-Star Derby this year. Because, you know, or the Home Run Derby, I mean. Because Miguel Sano got busted back down all the way down to single A. I don't know if they've brought him back up yet or not. High A, I should say. High single A. And, of course, he was in the HR Derby last year. And then Giancarlo and Aaron Judge both said they're not going to participate. So it should be... I don't really know who all will be in the mix. Bryce Harper said he will. And beyond that, I don't know. That's always my favorite part of the All-Star weekend is the Home Run Derby. And last year was so much fun. It was so much fun with Aaron Judge. I really understand why he doesn't want to do it again. But I wish that he would because it was so awesome. And did I see that Gary Sanchez, is out for the Yankees? Did he hit the DL? And Austin Romine jumping in his place? Did I dream that? Or is that going on in New York? And then the poor little Mets. Dodgers, wasn't it the Dodgers that hit 7 single home runs against the Mets in a single game? I mean, wow, that's pretty, of course, the Mets started off so awesome this year. I mean, what were they, like 10 or 11 wins and only 1 loss? I mean, they started out really playing well, and you thought, man, Mets are going to be all right, and their rookies are going to be good, and it's going to be that kind of year. And then, I don't know what happened. It's like the wheels just came off, and they fell apart. I don't know. But anyway, they got torched, just torched. And I think it was seven individual home runs in one game. I mean, whew, that is some bad news right there. Note we are the Cardinals here for Albert. He's in this set as both a Cardinal and an Angel, depending on which insert you might pull. So just bear that in mind. That is the case with a number of players, actually. So when you see one go by, make note of the team that you see on the card as well, because it's not always their current team in some cases. There's Faria to 2018 for the Tampa Bay Rays. And we haven't seen our hit yet out of this box, I don't think. Gary Carter as a Met on that one. There's a Xander hollow foil. My neighbors have already started. Is that Tucker Barnhart or short print? No. Have already started setting off the fireworks. So, wow. Look how far we are from the 4th of July. Like 10 days, 9 days. And my neighbors are already hard at work. This is numbered to 2018 for the Cubbies. So if you hear some big booming happening, I don't know if you'd be able to pick it up on the microphone or not. And I think they might be done for tonight anyway. But if you hear some, yeah, that's what it'll be. I love fireworks myself. They don't sell what I call the good ones here in my state, i.e. the aerial, you know, that go up and explode and that sort of thing. Derek Jeter All-Star with the blue border. Those are not numbered, but they are obviously parallels because most of our All-Stars do not have the blue border. So I used to drive every year to one of the neighboring states because pretty much all the states around us, above us, below us, next to us, all allow fireworks sales of quote-unquote the good stuff. So I used to get in the car and drive every year 2-3 hours each way, depending on which state I went to buy the good fireworks. And I would buy a lot, like $300, $400, $500 worth. And we would just light it up on the 4th of July. I always had a lot of fun. And then they built some townhouses back in the vacant area where we used to shoot them. Now there's nowhere to really set them off without worrying about it, you know, landing on somebody's roof and setting a house on fire. So we don't do it anymore. But it was a lot of fun the years that we did. It's one of the things I always remember growing up. My family would usually take a trip to Myrtle Beach, and my dad always liked to drive, preferred to drive. So somewhere on the way down or back, we would stop and get quote-unquote the good fireworks, and then all of our extended family would come over on the 4th of July, and we would shoot them off. My mom would make homemade ice cream and all that kind of stuff. So that's probably why I like fireworks to this day, but I'm not as much of a fan when they do it for 10 days straight. I will tell you that. I kind of prefer it maybe be slightly less than 10 days. But you get what you get, right? And there is a Rizzo insert, throwback jerseys on that top salute insert. And there's another Aaron Judge Long Ball Legends insert. And I saw that, did any of you open last year? Well, I broke this, but I don't know if you broke it with me or whether you know, did a break with somebody else. But Chronicles Baseball, did anybody check out Chronicles Baseball last year? This is Carlos Perez to 2018 for the Angels. If you happen to remember it, oh, here's our next home run challenge, J.D. Martinez and the Diamondbacks. It's actually a pretty cool product. My knock on it last year, let's get that out of the way. My knock on it last year was that it had, well, first of all, the base cards were super ugly, if you remember that. Base cards were just really ugly, and there were too many of them. But the inserts were fantastic. I mean, that was where we had Gold Standard and Prism and Spectra and all the brands that Panini doesn't produce as freestanding brands in baseball. They added into Chronicles, and it was awesome. And that was the chase, right? The chase was getting all of these other brands for your team or your rookies. And they're bringing Chronicles back this year, and I saw the sales information recently, and there's another one of those, the shows, and it looks like that they haven't completely done away with the base cards. They did redesign them, so they're not as ugly as they were last year, but it looks like there's going to be a lot fewer base cards and a lot more of the inserts, i.e. the Gold Standards and the Spectras and Prism and all that kind of stuff. So my point is, it's revamped, and it looks like it's going to be a lot more fun than it was last year. And I thought it was fun last year, so I'm pretty excited about that. Well, I mean, we're still a bit away before it's going to release. I'm hoping they're going to make the same changes in basketball, because basketball was, you know, much the same last year, except in baseball, we had the option of the hits being autographed. So, like, you could pull out an Aaron Judge Spectra that was a jersey and also an autograph. But in basketball, all the autographs were on the base cards. None of the autographs were on the parallels, which was weird, because in the basketball side, on the baseball side, a lot of the autographs were on the parallels. This is numbered to 50, a nice little Rhys Hoskins instant impact for the Phillies. So I'm hoping that if they bring basketball back, they're going to do to it what they have done to baseball, which is increase the inserts and decrease the base and all that kind of stuff. So, but we'll find out soon enough, I guess. Another The Show. I guess I really should have put a bidding spot up there for that. Somebody told me that. They said, oh, you need to put a bidding spot up there for the show. But not that many of them came out in hobby. I mean, a few, but not an extraordinary amount. There's a lot of them that come out in, I mean, out of the, did I say hobby? I meant to say jumbo. A few, but not a lot came out of jumbo. But there are a lot coming out of hobby. A lot. To 2018 Hendricks for the A's. I guess you might want to see the back of that, see what the number is. I just got ahead of myself because I saw a short print right behind it. And it is for the Indians, Trevor Bauer. Sometimes I get sidetracked too when I see the hits that are coming up. That's for the Indians. A salute insert there. I just saw a Hanley Ramirez card go by. Did you guys hear about that? Is that kind of whatever's going on with him is weird. His name somehow got tied to some sort of a, we already looked at those, some sort of a drug bust or something. And they were saying that Hanley Ramirez was like part of it. And then his agent came out and said, no, the guy, you know, it's not him. I guess the guy that got busted, the drug dealer or whatever that got busted, somebody said he named Hanley Ramirez, but then later said he was going to see Hanley, but none of the stuff was for him. I don't know. It's kind of bizarre. But whatever it is, it's probably not a good thing to have your name tied up with, right? I mean, that's what I would think anyway. So it's kind of an unusual situation. And speaking of that, I saw that Julian Edelman is going to appeal his PED suspension, you know, for the Patriots. So he originally, when that was announced, just kind of came out and said, oh man, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened, and I've never had this happen before, and whatever, and that was kind of the end of it. Now he's coming out saying, I'm going to fight that, so we'll see how it shakes out. For the Indians, we have Trevor Bauer relic that held on to the very last pack and very nearly the last card of the last pack in that box. That was box 2 of 6. We are rolling into box 3 of 6 right now. We still have a long ways to go. That's the downside. Is how long it takes to open it. Of course, the upside is when you get it, you're going to have a lot of cards for your team. So if you're a set builder or you just like to get big piles of cards delivered to you, this is right up your alley. As for me, I am anxiously awaiting Inception. I adore Inception. I've been so bummed that it has taken this long to come out. Should have been out months ago. You know, they kept pushing the date. So I'm super excited about that coming out on Wednesday. And I'm pretty jazzed about Elite Football, too. Because it's the first, you know, it's the first time our rookies are in their NFL uniforms. All the products up to this point, they've been in their collegiate uniforms. So finally, we're gonna get some trading cards in their new spiffy NFL threads. So I'm really looking forward to both of those. And of course, encased. Encased football I adore. I think I will like encased basketball because it's the same concept. It's numbered to 2018 Suzuki for the Braves. But as many of you know, sometimes the people over at Panini will change it up a little, and it's one way for one sport, and then they'll do something kind of slightly different for another sport. So until I see it come out of the box, I'm gonna say I am optimistic, and if it comes out anyway near the way that football came out, I'm gonna be pretty excited about that too. To 2018 Carl Edwards Jr. I wish kind of that they would do that for football, because it's cool. I mean, you get one of your cards is graded that comes out of the box, much the way Leaf does with some of their releases. So I like that fact. And then there's usually some other nice on-card hits in there as well. But truly, whoops, that's a hollow foil. As far behind as all the grading services have been, yeah, that's just regular. It's nice to just have the graded card that you don't have to send off and then wait and wonder if you're going to get it back in 3 weeks or 3 months or 3 years. I mean, it's been crazy trying to get anything for a while now, especially Beckett. Beckett's been the worst. It's a nice little Aussie 35th anniversary rookie insert. And then it's because Beckett was so bad and so far behind, everybody started going to PSA DNA. So then PSA has gotten behind, although not nearly as far behind as Beckett. But PSA is smart, right? They moved to a bigger building and hired a bunch more people. So that is what I would think most people would do when you had a sudden influx of business. But guess what? It is not what they did over at Beckett. So here is our nice little Torres rookie card. Again, this is considered an insert. Both Torres and Acuna in Series 2, just as a reminder, late additions to the set and are considered inserts, not base cards, which makes a difference, in how they're priced and how they're cataloged and all that. But anyway, that is still a nice hit. It's a short print, Torres for the Yankees. And that is followed by a Brian Dozier home run challenge for the Twins. So I know somebody last night was hoping that Torres was going to come out. And of course, it didn't come out of there last night. And I think I'm not sure if the same person got the Yankees tonight or not. I know he was considering it, hoping that it would turn out to be Torres and not Acuna in the back half of the case. And so if he does have it, he has been rewarded for his forethought on that one. And I just saw a little score pop up that said, I think it said that the Reds and the Braves are tied 3-3. Is that what I just saw pop up? It went away before I got a good look at it. But I think that's what it said. In which case, my little Cincinnati Reds are making up some ground against the big bad Atlanta Braves. I like the Braves, though. I do. I like their young players. They always look like they're having so much fun. And there is a little Kyle Farmer rookies insert on Topps Salute. I think sometimes, I'm sure, sometimes for the veteran guys, it's just a grind. I'm sure there are days they're not having fun at all. They play a lot of ball. Twins hollow foil. I mean, they're handsomely rewarded. Those guys are all very well paid. But that notwithstanding, I'm sure that there are still days when you just get out of bed and think, ugh, I do not want to play baseball today. It's 100 degrees and I'm in long pants, or, whatever the case might be. So I would not want to be out there in the heat and humidity and long pants, that's for sure. Especially like running. Like not just out there in long pants, but running as well. But then again, if they were paying me multiple millions of dollars per year, I'd probably just say, sure, I'll go out in a parka if you would like. That's what I imagine I would say anyway. There is Sandy Alcantara for the Marlins. If we happen to find his autograph, it will be that similar looking card, except it will be the Cardinals, his original team. So, you know, he's in this set as his autograph is for the Cardinals, but his rookie cards, his other stuff, is in as a Marlin. So clearly they put that, got the signatures done on those cards before the trade took place, and they weren't just going to not use them, so they still put them in, and then everything else in the series is after the trade took place, and therefore shows the Marlins. Jose Altuve, this is one of our team MVP medallions. That's a really nice, heavy metal piece in there. So that's pretty, those are fun. So that's a nice little fun hit for the Astros with Jose Altuve. So right now we're halfway in terms of our hits. As soon as we finish these last few packs, we'll be literally halfway through the case. Right now we have 2 jersey relics and the 1 manufactured relic. It's what we've seen come out so far anyway. I think it's about how we started out last night too, isn't it? Because then Greg last night said, hey, the next 3 are going to be autographs or whatever. And then just like that, boom, they were. So we had the mojo working last night. Let's hope the same thing happens again tonight. We pull a little ink in the remaining 3 boxes. No, there's not that many more. I wanted to stop and look at what we have because, well, delayed gratification is hard for us all. But I decided there's like 6 more packs laying there. We may as well just open the rest of the packs and have them out, and then we can buzz on through the rest of the box with a little more efficiency that way, I guess. I would like to say, thank goodness we don't have anything else with a lot of base for a while, but we kind of do because we have Stadium Club coming. Now, Stadium Club doesn't have this much base. It has a lot, though, and 8 boxes of that makes a half case. Have to do those big 16-box cases just to make our lives difficult. So we do still have some sort of base-heavy stuff coming, but I don't know. I just keep thinking soon we'll be in products that have less cards. But then kind of we never are. Something else comes out. For a long time, I wouldn't break stuff that had a ton of base because I just thought, oh my gosh, I can't stand it. You know, it's just, oh, I can't do it again for, 2 hours in one product or whatever. But over time, over the years, you just kind of get used to it. And then now it's like, okay, well, it's not my favorite, but I can live with it. So that's kind of where we reside now. I break a decent amount of stuff with high base, but not an extraordinary amount of it. Numbered to 2018, Felix Hernandez and the Mariners. Greg typed in there, Inception has less. Oh, for sure. Inception is, oh gosh, I would have to look at the specs to tell you for sure, but it's 5, 6, 7 cards in a box. It's not very many at all. And it is a 16 box case, but because it's just the one pack per box, and then each pack is relatively low number of cards, it's a breeze to go through a full case of Inception. And ditto with Museum Collection. I mean, that's not super base heavy either. But I just haven't been breaking that, or I don't have that scheduled right now to break as a full case solely because of the price. It's an extremely expensive case, and in comparison. So, yeah, I break it as half and half. Here's a nice little Chris Bryant for the Cubbies with the black border, and I definitely can see a little bit of white. It's primarily right there on that right edge and corner, but there's not as much as we see on some of the ones with the black border. It's numbered to 299. And of course, that's just simply because of the black. Excuse me. I did not sneeze on my hands, by the by. I did sneeze into my elbow, if you were wondering, so nothing icky on your cards, okay? But normally the stuff with the black edges and the blue edges, that's my only knock against it, is that it shows any tiny little imperfection really stands out against that dark background. And of course, we all know that it is rare for a card to come out a perfect 10 out of a pack, no matter what. So I kind of, most of the time, you're going to find some little imperfections on those cards with dark borders. And then we have here for the Pirates, numbered to 2018, Talon. Hi, Patty. How are you? You must have the Cubbies tonight. Is that your black border Chris Bryant to 299? I'm thinking maybe, possibly. We are officially at the halfway point right now, so we're getting there. We're making progress. Oh, the Mariners. You've got the Mariners tonight. Okay. I did not see it. You probably put that up there then after the Hernandez went by. And I just didn't glance over there and see it in time. Ah, that was my fault. Everybody's kind of quiet in chat tonight, so I haven't been looking over as often as I do when it's active. Like I'm gonna sneeze again, but I'm trying really hard not to. But then it kind of makes it back up in my head a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? Like when sometimes you feel a sneeze coming, but then it never comes out. It just kind of like implodes inside your head. Yeah. That's what I feel like right now. I've got a trapped sneeze. Greg just typed in long. Yeah, it's a long break, my friend. There is no question about that. There's no fast way to look at over 2,000 cards, unfortunately. Nor is there any fast way to sort it and ship it. That's the other bad news. Out of breaks with this many cards. It is an all-day process to get them sorted and prepared for shipping. Like an all-day thing. It takes a crazy amount of time. Pirates to 2018 on the team card. Because it definitely takes longer to sort than it takes to break. And then you would think the sorting would be the longest part of it, right? But oftentimes it's not. It's getting everything then in their team bags and sorted to the right person and then wrapped properly for shipping and labels printed and all that stuff. That actually usually takes longer than the sort, and the sort takes longer than the break. And you add it all up, it is a lot of time for a product like this anyway. But you know, sometimes we need to open stuff like this too. Normally I get the jumbos. That's my preference. But that's what I had ordered this year. Note that Giancarlo is for Miami on that card. And I had ordered all jumbo this year too, but then my rep came back and they made some kind of an adjustment. And they said, you know, if you want to keep your jumbo, you have to also buy some hobby cases. So there really wasn't much choice, because by the time they came out and told us that, it was too late to go order it anywhere else that didn't have that requirement. That is a Reggie Jackson short print for the New York Yankees, Mr. October SP. And then we have numbered to 2018, Caleb Joseph for the Orioles. I don't know why I about forgot to put Caleb in a sleeve there. Another Bryce Harper 35th anniversary. Ah, Patty, you said you like to get lots of base cards. Well, yes, then this break is right up your alley, because you will get a lot. a lot. Because this is what? Okay, so jumbo is 1,500. This is over 2,000, probably close to 2,200. So I'm terrible with math in my head, but you got to figure that's at least, what, 30-40% more? So anybody that has multiple teams, you're going to get pounds and pounds of cards. This is numbered to 67 for the Brewers with Sogard. So I had someone out of jumbo that had, I think it was maybe 6 teams, something like that. 5-6 teams. And his package weighed between 4 and 5 pounds. And that was a 1,500 card break. So somebody with that many teams out of this, you're probably talking 6-7 pounds cards. This is numbered to 76. It is Josh Donaldson and the Toronto Blue Jays. Here comes a relic, and it is a piece of the baseball bat, Evan Longoria for the Giants. Of course, he broke his, that's the wrong sleeve, he broke his hand. Well, he didn't break it. Got hit by a pitch and it got broken that way. So it is broken, but obviously it wasn't exactly him breaking it. Unlike the pitcher who punched the wall or the locker or whatever and broke his hand, and LeBron James punching the whiteboard and breaking his hand. That's been the trend, it seems, in the month of June. Athletes punching things and breaking their hands. Greg says, pull some good autographs. I would love to, Greg. I hope that we do. Right now, we're all relics, so we're definitely overdue to pull a little ink out of here. Hopefully, we're going to. If you didn't watch the first half of the break last night, if you're wondering how we determined which boxes to open which night, I take everything out when we're breaking a new case, or we open a new case and we're not breaking the full case at once. I take all the boxes out, I number them on the end with a black Sharpie, and then go to random.org and type in however many boxes there are. Hit random once, and then take the first however many numbers make up a half case. So that's kind of how we do it, and that's how we did it last night. So it is random.org that chose the 6 boxes we opened last night. And then, of course, these are the remaining 6. So we didn't have to do any random tonight because there were only 6 left. But, whoops, I went right past that. I saw it, but not till I slid right past it. Aroldis Chapman to 2018 for the Yankees. But yeah, so you will see me do that just about any time that we're opening less than a full case quantity, and it's the first, you know, like we're cracking the seal on the case and then opening less than the case quantity. Anthony Rendon, I never say his name right, for the Nationals. Rendon, I think it is. Anyway, that is our home run challenge card for the Nats. I think he probably hits, well, he hits some home runs. I don't know how many this year anyway, but he definitely hits some home runs, so that might not be too bad. In terms of giving you a good shot at picking the right date anyway. Wonder if they give the home run derby as an option. Has anybody scratched off one of those and looked to see? It's probably only in games. They probably don't count the All-Star. It'd be pretty cool if they did. John Jay to 2018 for the Royals, and I put it in there upside down. Let me fix that because it will bug me. Now. Because if they did, like, allow the home run derby to be one of the days that you could choose, and say you had Bryce Harper or somebody in the home run derby, well, that would be the day you'd want to choose, of course. So I'm sure they must disallow that. Not have that date as an option, I mean. But they're kind of testy about the whole thing. So, like, if your game gets rained out, oh, well, too bad. You lose your, you know, pick. If your player doesn't start for some reason on the day that you've chosen, they decide to rest him or whatever, it's like, whoops, too bad. You lost your shot. I mean, they're pretty hardcore about it. Not a lot of wiggle room with the home run challenge. You either hit the nail on the head or not. But I see a decent number of them for sale on eBay. I'm not talking about the challenge cards themselves. I'm saying like people who have hit and won the challenge, and then you get the Topps Now card. And I've seen a fair number of the Topps Now cards go across on eBay from the home run challenge contest, and some of them do pretty well money-wise, so must not be impossible to hit anyway. Like everything else, it comes down to timing, I guess. See another little The Show advertising deal. Okay. Walker Buehler, little 35th anniversary rookie insert there. It's a little more interesting with the hobby. You have to pay a little more attention going through the base than you do in Jumbo, because in Jumbo, of course, all the inserts and numbered cards and short prints and everything are right there together in the middle of the Jumbo pack. But in the hobby, we have to look a little more closely. There is Ricky Henderson to 299 for the Oakland A's. That was on a salute card. I think it says Legends. We'll have to double check that, of course, when we when we recap, we can get a better look at that one again. I'm a little tired tonight myself, I tell you. It's kind of a crazy start to the morning. My neighbor, I think I've told you guys this, but my neighbor is 90-something years old. And a little over a week ago, in the middle of the night, she took a bit of a tumble and missed the last couple of stairs in her house and ended up fracturing her back in a couple of different places. So she was in the hospital until a day or two ago, and they transferred her to rehab. So she's still in the hospital, but in a rehab hospital now. And she has animals and cats, so it's my job, to take care of her cats and to, get the mail and paper and make sure the house is okay. All that kind of stuff you do, like when your neighbors aren't home. And she has a few different cats, and they're mostly afraid of people that are not my neighbor. So they're kind of shy. Most of them are former feral cats. Anyway. One of them had been sick, and I hadn't been able to kind of figure out who it was, and then looked like they had gotten more sick in the overnight hours, so I ended up catching that cat, but I couldn't quite swing it by myself. I had to call in reinforcements. I had to practically call in the National Guard, but anyway, got Kitty rounded up, but Kitty went to the vet and is still at the vet. They're keeping it overnight, but it's kind of crazy this morning because that was all before I had my Red Bull, right? Like, that's my coffee in the morning. I don't drink coffee. I've never really liked coffee very much, so I have Red Bull in the morning instead. So that was all before I even barely had to hit the ground. And I had to hit the ground running, so to speak. And somehow or another, it just kind of, I don't know, threw off my day a little bit. So now I'm not normally tired this time of night, but I am tonight for some reason. So anyway, hopefully tomorrow we're going to get good news back about Kitty. I just hope I got the right cat. I mean, I was like, oh, that's what I was talking to my mom about, because I was telling her about it this morning while I was trying to round up somebody who could help me chase down and catch the cat and etc. And I said, man, I kind of just had to guess which one was the sick one, because I'm not, they run when you come in the house for the most part, and so I don't really know. I just kind of know from having taken care of them some in the past where each one usually hangs out. So I hope I got the right cat. Like, it's going to be awful if we spend all that money to have all that blood work and everything done on that cat, and it'll come back perfect and I will have grabbed the wrong one. That would not be good, I don't think. For the Kansas City Royals, we have Mike Mostowskis. Moose. There's another one of the show cards. I'll pick it back up in a hot second. I'll show you that one front and back. But first, let's take a look at Sean Newcomb here for the Atlanta Braves, number 276. As we inch ever closer to the 4th of July. And there's our show card. Do you know those things don't expire for like 5 years or something crazy like that? I did not really pay attention to that in the past. I probably ditched a lot of those a long time before they expired, but yeah, well, what are you going to do? Now I know better, but you don't always know better. But yeah, I think you if anybody has cats, you know probably what I'm talking about when I say how difficult it is to get a cat once they've seen the carrier, right? Because all cats, at least any cat I've ever been around, they hate going in the car. Hate it. So, like dogs, you can be like, hey, let's go to the park or whatever. And the dog's like, yeah, jumps in the car immediately. Cat sees the carrier and equates that with I've got to get in the car and becomes like the Tasmanian devil on crack. I mean, the thing is, they just go insane. This is numbered to 2018 Diamondbacks team card. So it's really hard normally to even get your own cats in a carrier without a fight, much less a cat that doesn't really like you or trust you or, know you all that well. So it was just kind of a comedy of errors. I was chasing that cat kind of all over the house. I finally got it isolated in one room and then called for my reinforcements. And between the two of us, we managed to get it in the carrier, but wow, it was crazy. And someone, this is, I'm still on a cat topic, but I just thought of this. Someone who breaks with me from time to time also grows catnip and takes catnip to rescue cats, makes little toys and takes them to rescue cats and takes them to has a partnership kind of thing with a zoo, I guess, and takes them to the meerkats and the other animals like that enjoy catnip. And he was so sweet. He sent me a big package of catnip toys for the kitties, which was so awesome. It actually just came day before yesterday, I guess it was. And I didn't really realize what it was. I was getting my mail, my neighbor's mail. And I opened my door and put mine inside the door and then locked it back, of course, went over to the neighbor's and took hers over and etc. When I came back, the little cat, Monkey, the one I found outside in November, had knocked all the mail in the floor and was laying on top of this envelope, just chewing it like there was no tomorrow. And I'm thinking, what is wrong with this cat? He's crazy anyway. He does the strangest stuff. I'm thinking, man, he has just really gone off his rocker now. He's just going to attack the mail randomly. And then, of course, when I get it and open it up, I realized why. He had all those catnip toys in there. So he has been in little catnip heaven for the last couple of days. But I thought that was so sweet. The guy who breaks with me just sent them out of the blue. It was so nice. Kind of made my day, as a matter of fact. I was having one of those days a little bit. I was a little cranky, slightly on the cranky side. And then I got that, and it just totally made my day. So I definitely have to pay that forward somewhere along the way. So maybe helping out with my neighbor's cats is a start towards paying it forward. I don't know. Number to 2018, Lucas Dutta for the Kansas City Royals. I need to check that Blake Snell. No, it's just a regular one. I don't know why I thought it might be a short print, but it was not. It looked like it could be, potentially. Another Clint Frazier rookies insert. I think we saw one of those go by a second ago as well. Jose Abreu throwback jerseys. For the White Sox, of course. Ooh, I see something gold. Something gold here on the edge, but there's our base cards first. And it is for the Marlins. It is Giancarlo on an all-star insert, numbered to 50 for the Miami Marlins. Do you know the Marlins are only like 1.5 games away from the Mets right now? Of Corey Seager short print for the Dodgers. Yeah, I think they're only like a game and a half back of the Mets. And the Mets, by the way, were not supposed to be like in rebuild mode or anything, not technically. Whereas, of course, we know the Marlins traded every asset they had and are in total tear down and rebuild mode. And they're only a game and a half behind the Mets. Ooh, that's, I don't know. Well, I guess it's kind of both. It says maybe the Marlins are slightly better than we thought they would be. That's just 2018 for the Yankees. But it definitely means the Mets are way worse than we thought they were going to be. But I was surprised. I didn't realize that it was as close as that until I took a little closer look at it. Of course, we still got a ways to go. I mean, we still got a whole half of the season left. Lots of things can happen. But unless they make some kind of super meaningful trades, I don't know what's going to happen with that New York team anyway. For the Texas Rangers, numbered to 67. And our hit we've just come across is a Christian Yelich relic for the Brewers. We hit one of those in the first half of the case, too, I believe. Maybe that's the one that was also autographed in the first half of the case. Maybe. We are almost through with box 4. We've got a few little packs left to open, or box 5, I mean. What am I, traveling back in time now? Box 5 is what we are finishing up right now. And then, of course, one box left, so in there to wrap up our half case. This is also the last of the series, too. Don't have any more of it. And we will, of course, be buzzing on along this week, though, with all kinds of new releases coming out. And then next week, we've got the 4th of July next week. But it's weird because it's in the middle of the week. So I don't quite know how everybody's going to do with that. You know, normally, if the 4th of July is honestly, even on a Thursday, a Friday, or a Monday, people will tie it in and take a nice long weekend most of the time, use an extra vacation day or whatever. So I don't break as much around that because I think that's kind of prime time vacation season, if you will. But this year, with it being on Wednesday, like, I don't know. I don't think everybody's necessarily going to take off, so we might break a little on 4th of July, but, I mean, on the actual 4th of July. But if we do, it probably won't be a lot. But I don't know, we might break some memorabilia or do some 1 and 2 box breaks and stuff like that. I don't know if I'll break any cases on the actual 4th of July, but we might get into something. I want to say I did last year something similar, but I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at my spreadsheets. I don't remember 100%. It's a long time ago. Number to 2018 for the Angels. Which you guys know, I mean, what, I can't even remember what jersey we hit. Like, I had to stop and think about, here's the jersey that we hit 5 minutes ago. So, you know, me trying to remember all the way back to what we did the last 4th of July is probably not going to be successful, right? Yeah, I will have to look that one up. But it's always interesting because sometimes you'll think like a holiday wouldn't be that good, but then it turns out like Christmas Day and Thanksgiving Day and some of the days you would think, yeah, it's not a good day to break, really turn out to be. So you never know. Shohei on a little 35th anniversary insert. Look how young he looks in that picture. I mean, he is young, but he looks really young in that picture. Let's get our show card out of the way there. And a hollow foil for the Rockies. And that wraps up box 5. 1 box left to go. We are in the home stretch now. I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me tonight. I know that often breaks like this that go so long are the type that, you know, you kind of think, I think I'll check out and I'll just go back and watch the recap tomorrow where I can fast forward to the end. I appreciate that, that some of you are hanging in there with me tonight instead of saying, yeah, I'll just hit the replay tomorrow. So thank you, Greg and Patty, and those of you who are managing to set through the long process of opening 2,000 plus cards. But really, I think we're maybe doing a little better on time tonight than we did last night. Because obviously, you know, we opened a few things first, both tonight and last night. But, uh-oh, this is a vintage stock. I felt it from the back. It's for the Yankees, Chad Green, numbered to 99. So, yeah, it's always, I like the vintage stock because I don't have to even recognize from the front that it's any different. You can just feel it when it goes across your hand on the back. It's like, hey, wait a minute. Something is different. But we do usually pick up the speed a little bit once something, you've gone through something the first time or the second time, it does usually become a little faster. Because each time you go through it, you get a better pattern in your head, if you will, of like roughly how many inserts to expect or roughly where they're going to fall and that sort of thing. So it is usually faster once you get past the first break or two of anything, for me anyway. Maybe not for everybody else, but they may all start out fast. I don't know. I definitely start out slower and then the subsequent breaks are faster. Probably because I'm playing looky-loo myself, right? You know, on those first breaks. You know how if you're driving down the road and somebody's stopped on the shoulder, if there's been a car wreck or police have pulled them over for speeding or whatever the case may be. You know how you kind of rubberneck? And so you kind of slow down and check it out. I'm a little bit that way whenever we first open stuff because I want to know what's in it too. I'm as interested as you guys are in terms of what a set's going to look like and what we're going to pull out of it. And so I think I'm guilty of going a little slower because I'm rubbernecking a little bit, if you will, when it's brand new. So it also reminds me of a reference when I say, you know, speed it up. This is, you can tell I'm tired, right? Because now my mind is just going to all kinds of crazy places. But I'm sure probably just about everybody at some point in their lifetime has seen an I Love Lucy episode or at least clips of I Love Lucy episodes. There are so many classic ones. But I'm thinking about the time that they worked in the, just making sure that wasn't a short print, that they worked in the candy factory. Lucy and Ethel were working in this, I don't know, they made some kind of deal with the boys about they were going to job swap. So the girls were going to go out and make the living that week, and the guys were going to stay home and do the housework, you know, teach each other appreciation for what the other one does kind of deal. So the girls have trouble, of course, getting a job and finally end up at a chocolate factory. And they're on this assembly line, and these pieces of chocolate are coming down the line, and they're supposed to be taking them off the line and wrapping them up and setting them back on the line. And it's going kind of too fast for them, right? So they can't keep up. And, oh, look at this. It's Johnny Bench. Yay, Johnny Bench, short print for the Cincinnati Reds. And behind that, we have for the Milwaukee Brewers a home run challenge, Eric Thames. So they don't want to like lose their jobs at the chocolate factory. So they hear the lady coming and they look down and they see how much stuff they still have there. They're like way behind. So they start taking all the chocolates and they stuff them. They're wearing these big like chef hat type things. And they're stuffing them in the hats and they're stuffing them in their mouths. And they're doing all this stuff so that there's no chocolate sitting there when the lady comes by. And so she comes in and she thinks, oh, they're really doing a tremendous job because they haven't missed a single one. And so she yells down the line, speed it up a little. And then, of course, you can imagine what happens from there when they start, coming down even faster. So when I was saying that breaks tend to speed up a little after you've done them a while, that is the reference that came to mind, was Lucy and Ethel on the chocolate line. And the lady going, speed it up a little. I told you it's late. I'm tired tonight. I know, it happens. It happens. I digress. But hey, if you haven't ever watched I Love Lucy, now you know what at least one episode is about. So there you go. Little useless trivia for you. You can add to your knowledge base in case you ever end up on Jeopardy and there's an I Love Lucy category. You know, they used to make I Love Lucy trading cards too. Did you know that? I didn't know that until recently. I think they make trading cards for about everything these days. All the Star Wars films and all the Marvel films and a lot of television shows even, and some of them are quite expensive. The ones that Cryptozoic makes, those are usually kind of pricey. Of course, Topps makes all the Star Wars ones. I was actually going to start breaking some Star Wars, and imagine this, it was all allocated. Like, are you kidding me? Like everything I've been trying to break for 2 years, it's like, oh, it's allocated, it's allocated. And of course that's been in the sports card world. So I saw these Star Wars cards and they're the signature series type like we have with Archive signature series. I thought, oh, that would be fun, and that would be a good way to get into, breaking some Star Wars cards, because they come out pretty often, and, I mean, I like Star Wars. I like all those movies. And so I ordered some, and don't you know, I didn't get them. They gave me a few loose boxes or whatever, and I was like, what happened to my Star Wars cards? Oh, yeah, those are allocated. I was like, are you kidding me? Is that just the whole world of all trading cards now? No one can actually buy as much of anything as they want. Everything is allocated. Guess so. And here is our hit from this box. It is Sonny Gray for the Yankees. And we did manage to get a pinstripe, so that kind of thrills me a little. I'm always quite sad if we pull a relic that has no pinstripe. If the uniform has the option, I want that stripe on the relic. I'm very greedy that way. So we ended up, I guess, all relic tonight, didn't we? Yeah, I think we did. Only one manufactured, though. The rest were actual either uniform or piece of the baseball bat relics. And, of course, we will recap all of that once we finish looking through the last of the cards here out of our 6th and final box. Whoops, hang on now. I went right past Jose Ramirez there. Had to go back and find him. For the Milwaukee Brewers to 2018, Gallardo. And there's Hunter Renfroe for the Padres on a throwback jersey insert. Rod Carew for the Twins. There is also a Rod Carew for the Angels in Series 2. So I'm not sure if any of the other Rod Carew tonight was Angels or if it was all Twins, but he is another one. Just be aware that is in the set on both of his teams. And I bet you that if, let me check this. Yeah, it's regular. I bet you, well, I need to look at the checklist, but if I had to guess without looking at the checklist, I would say that Rod Carew for Museum Collection this year will be on the checklist for the Twins. Because last year, I think he was on the checklist for the Angels last year. And it seems like every year in Museum Collection, they switch Rod Carew. So like one year they'll have him as an Angel, the next year they'll have him as a Twin, then they go back to the Angels. Maybe I'm just dreaming that, but it seems to me that that's kind of the pattern. And I think he was in there as an Angel last year, so I'll be interested to see if Rod Carew shows up in Museum Collection as a Minnesota Twin. This year, I mean. Of course, it could be that he doesn't show up in there at all. They might not have him on the checklist this year, but I bet they do. They often have Rod Carew in one capacity or another. And here is Josh Hader to 2018 for the Milwaukee Brewers. So back-to-back numbered Brewers cards, or virtually back-to-back anyway. I don't know what I thought that was. I thought for a minute it was an insert, but I had to look at it a second time. And the Phillies, almost out of time, but here come the Phillies hitting a nice little black and white negative parallel for their rookie, Victor Arano. So, Phillies, we did manage to find just something right here in the nick of time. And there's a Ben Gamel throwback jerseys inserts. Chris Bryant, Long Ball Legends. Jose Abreu, Instant Impact. And the Dodgers with Corey Seager, numbered to 2018. Mike Piazza as a Met on that one. I always kind of forget about him being a Met until you end up seeing a card. I mean, he was a Met, I guess, for a decent amount of time, but I've always associated him so strongly with the Dodgers. Matsui with the All-Star Blue border. And we are ready to recap. So we're going to take a look at our numbered cards and our short prints and that sort of thing. And then we'll look at our actual hits at the conclusion of that. So let's just do these first. Anything you see with that green color is going to be numbered to 2018, which is the majority of what we have in here. And Chad Green, rather, is numbered to 99. That is a vintage stock insert. When you see the black ones, they are numbered to 67. The nice pretty gold is numbered to 50. And our red, white, and blue, if you will, numbered to 76. It's really just kind of the red and the blue and the stars, but I'm going to call it red, white, and blue. That is numbered to 299, Ricky Henderson and the A's. Another red, white, and blue to 76. Another black one to 67. And then we're back to 2018, there is Chris Bryant to 299, All-Stars with the black border. Reese Hoskins, Instant Impact, is numbered to 50. Whoops, my pile is starting to slide around there, isn't it? Castellanos to 299 on the throwback jersey salute insert for the Tigers. And then an Astros team card to 2018. Matsui with the All-Star and the blue border unnumbered. The Arano rookie black and white parallel. Home run challenge for the Brewers, Eric Timms. Home run challenge for the Royals, Mike Moustakas. Anthony Rendon for the Nationals. Minnesota Twins, Brian Dozier, home run challenge. Here's your nice little short print Gleyber Torres rookie insert for the Yankees. J.D. Martinez and the D-backs, home run challenge. Derek Jeter, All-Star blue border. Tyler Glasnow and the Pirates, black and white parallel. Chris Davis for the A's, home run challenge. A nice little SP for my Johnny Bench and the Cincinnati Reds. And a Dodgers SP, Corey Seager. A Yankees short print with Reggie Jackson. A Trevor Bauer short print for the Indians. And a Corey Kluber short print for the Indians. After we look at these last few cards, I will put the spreadsheet information up there one more time just in case someone wasn't tuned in earlier or you are watching the recap and you scroll to the end. Know that the spreadsheet info is coming up next. Sonny Gray and the Yankees relic. Christian Yelich for the Milwaukee Brewers relic. An Evan Longoria piece of the baseball bat for the Giants. Trevor Bauer and the Indians with the jersey relic. And Noah Syndergaard and the Mets with that patch. And one manufactured relic, that is for the Astros. It's Team MVP medallion for Jose Altuve. Nice big heavy card that one is. Big hunk of metal in the middle of that card. All right, let's get our focus back in gear. We don't have to worry about seeing things up close at this point, but we do need to look at our spreadsheet again. So once again, if you happen to miss this earlier, of course, your projected shipping date for all of the free shipping breaks tonight, which were all of the memorabilia breaks, is Saturday. And the projected shipping date for Top Series 2 that we just finished up is Thursday. And I'm very hopeful I can get that out on Thursday. If something goes haywire or something unexpected happens, it could possibly slide to Friday, but I believe I can get it done Thursday. I'm hopeful that I can anyway. And of course, the consolation card info, if you happen to be in one of the memorabilia breaks and your team was not pulled, you are still entitled to a consolation card. Can be from any year, any series. I track that for a rolling 90-day period. Typically, the next time you do pull a card or an item, I'll just round up all of those consolation cards that you're due. They'll go out in the package with whatever it is that you pulled. If you want it to go out sooner by itself in a plain white envelope with just a stamp, you shoot me a message on eBay, let me know. We'll get you squared away. Then looking at our spreadsheet of upcoming things, of course, again, tomorrow night, not doing any breaks. I'm going to be sorting 4,000 cards worth of sorting. So that's going to keep me plenty busy on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we will open Inception Baseball, Encased Basketball, and Elite Football. All come out on Wednesday. We're going to open a full case of each on Wednesday night. Note that we are starting earlier. We're going to start at 9:30 instead of 10, and the auctions will start ending a little earlier than I normally end them as well. On Thursday night, we will open Gold Rush Value Pack Baseball. It's a 12-pack deal that makes a case, for lack of a better term, on the Gold Rush, and that came out Friday. I forgot to list it, so yeah, we'll open it Thursday. And then we'll open a half case of Stadium Club. Stadium Club, blah, 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 blah. Stadium Club comes out Wednesday. But there's too much other stuff to open on Wednesday, so we'll open it on Thursday. On Friday, we've got memorabilia, another case of encased basketball, and we will start on museum collection baseball, which will come out on Friday. Saturday, more autographed memorabilia, more Inception, more Elite, and Sunday will be more the same, a mix of all of the stuff that has come out on Wednesday and Friday. So I think that is all the news to use for tonight. So once again, thanks everyone. I appreciate you bidding, breaking, and chatting with me, and a special thanks to those of you who managed to hang out for this very long, almost 2-hour break tonight. Thank you very much for keeping me company throughout. So good night, guys. I hope you have a nice day tomorrow, and we'll see you again on Wednesday. Bye now.